So now that you have the database created, your table created, you insert into, we go ahead with what we did the last time. Insert into students. Now let's put values inside the table. So of course we don't need to start with a number because that will auto increment. So I'll start with matric, initials, last name, courses registered, the same way you typed it earlier. And once you're done, you close the brackets, and I'll use enter to go to the next line. Then insert values. These are the values I'll be there. Now don't forget that matric and the rest, initials, last name, they are varchar, so it will be a string. When you're using a string, you have to use a single quotes, so you wrap it in a single quotes. So let's say the matric here is ZK 0, 1, 2, 3, separate with commas. Then GT, that's initials for this guy, and his name is, last name is Hakim. And of course for integer you don't need a string, so that won't be a string, just write your number. Let's say the guy is in 10 courses. Alright, then you end every statement with a semicolon. Query OK, one role affected. So let's see what we have inside. Select all from students. So let's see how the database looks like. Semicolon. Yeah, wow, we have our first row here. Now we have the first record. So let's add more records. We can't have just a single record, it's not too good. So let's have like 2, 3 records. So let's quickly do another one. I'm going to use there's no need typing all over and over again, so I'll use my upper arrow to call it back. Insert into, yes, then use my down arrow to get to values. So I'll quickly change the values. So for this now, let's say I'm using 7 for the courses registered, and the name of this guy now is OB, and the initials, let's say we have initials to be 80, and the matric number to be 450145. Alright, so this is a new record. Alright, enter. One row affected and all of that. So let me quickly do the second one before I check my table. Insert into, fine, then the values. So the values, now I'm changing the values to 8 for the courses registered, and let's say the name here is still Akim. So let's say we have another Akim. That means of course a different that will be different initials. So let's say we've got Akim with MO Akim. So we have MO Akim, and the matric number now is this. Alright, so this is another new record. I press enter. Query OK. So let me just do a select all and see what I have in my table. Select all from students. Wow, now I have 3 different records. Now don't forget that the last time I told you that you can do a select from, where, then order by. So let's look at that syntax. Select all from students, enter, where last name, where last underscore name equals Akim. Then I want it to order by courses registered. So that means select all from students where the last name will be Akim, and I wanted to arrange it using the courses registered. The courses registered. So, and do that in ascending order. That's cool. Okay, enter. So you can see now Obi is no longer in the record because I'm only selecting where I have the last name to be Akim, and you can see that the courses are arranged in ascending order 8, 10. You can do for descending order and look at how it will appear. Now let's go for the next one. Select all from students. Well, okay, it's not always every time you need to select all. What if you just want to select some particular records? Take for example, I just want to do select. I don't need everything from my database. I just want to view um, the number assigned to students and the matric number of that student. So I'm only interested in number and the matric from students. I don't need everything from students. And let's say I still want it to be where, sorry, I'm using that code now. Now where last name equals to Hakim. So just select number and matric from students where the last name is Hakim. Okay, semicolon. Wow, you see this now. So that means I'm not having the record initials and last name in courses registered are no longer showing. I'm only interested in number and matric and where the last name is Hakim. So OB also is not showing. So it's only picking the record from where the last name is Hakim. Okay, that's cool. So let's look at some other things. I told you about updates. Updates. How do you update a database? Before we update, let me quickly use the select statement also. Select all from students. So let's see how the database looks like once again. This the complete table. So assuming we want to update, assuming we realize that OB, the courses registered by OB are not 7. Assuming we realize he actually registered 9 courses and we want to correct that. How do we go about it? Update. So we update table, which is students. Then what do? Enter. I press enter. I'm not yet trained. Set courses registered to be equals to 9 where last underscore name equals OB. Don't forget OB will be a string because it's a varchar. So let's see what will happen. So now I want to change the record of OB for courses registered from 7 to 9. So query OK. Let's select all and see what we have. Wow, you can see the difference now. OB is no longer 7 for courses registered. Now courses registered for OB now is 9. Alright, that's cool. So one more thing, I told you can delete record from your database. How do we do that? Assuming I realize that Akim has been expelled from school, I mean MO Akim, not GT, has been expelled from this school, and we no longer need this record. So how do we delete this record from this database? All you need to do is delete from students. I use enter where number equals 3. That means that's why I have MO Akim number 3. The number equals to 3. So you press enter, query OK. So let's see if we have that. Select all from students. Let's check our table now. Wow, Akim is no longer existing. MO Akim is no longer existing on this table. So that's how to go about designing a database with MySQL. If you're through doing what you're doing on this console, all you need to do is just type quit and press enter and you get out of the system. Now, thank you very much for listening. You can send mail to info@sodetconsulting.com or sodetconsulting@gmail.com for more inquiries. We'll be very glad to reply you. All right. Thank you for listening.